Hi, I'm Gregor Paul from the Herald on Sunday. Here again with Wyn Gray from the Herald. Hello, Wyn.
Hey, bud.
Okay, no beating around the bush. Chiefs or Crusaders? Give me your thoughts. And don't sugarcoat it, just tell me what's going to happen.
Just the usual, okay, straight up and down. Well, they meet in Hamilton.
Come on.
You don't want that one.
No.
All right, you want to know who wins, don't you?
I want to know who you think will win.
Well, I'm actually going to think the Chiefs are going to win. There you go. I'm going to go, I'll swim against the tide.
Okay.
To be slightly controversial, which is what this award-winning program's all about.
That's what you're all about.
They've played poorly in their last couple of games. They were belted by the Crusaders when they went down there. They did all right against them at home earlier in the season. So you've got those contrasting thoughts, haven't you? Were Brodie Retallick not fit, I wouldn't give them a chance. But I think he is going to be fit. He's going to be ready. I think if they pick certain players, like Tanner Latimer, for example, to start, I think they'll do much better. Aaron Cruden's been off his game recently. I think he'll fire up against Carter. And there is no way the Chiefs will play as poorly as the Reds did last week against the Crusaders.
No.
They'll give them a stern test up front. They've got a scrum. They've got some gnarly and a few gnarly fellows in that pack. I think they can probably give a good account of themselves. Which you're not convinced?
No, I think they will. I think your logic is right. They've had a week off. I think they'll come back pretty determined to play well because they know that you can't turn up to a semi-final and end up disappointed with the way that you played. It's criminal. It's like leaving a putt short in golf to win it. You just can't do that. So they're going to play. I think they'll have learned a lot. The guy they've got to get more out of is Tammy Funa, who went down to Christchurch 2 weeks ago. Didn't win that scrummaging battle with Wyatt Crockett, and he kind of took the huff almost. He kind of went, I'm not getting dominance there. And he didn't put himself around the field. And he was loose, he was ill-disciplined, and he kind of pulled the whole performance down for me a little bit. I think they got to get him fired up, and if he can actually get on top of Crockett, which I think he's capable of doing because he's a phenomenal scrummager, and if they can get that scrummaging war won, we are. But I think this is kind of close to Test match territory here, and I think the scrum, because both of them fancy themselves in that area, and I think if the Chiefs can edge it, which they can do. Yep. That confidence will flow through the team.
The one area where I see the Crusaders having grown their game and having perhaps a bit of an advantage is in the back line. Now, I didn't think I'd say that at the beginning of the year where, they looked pretty average. Dag was out of sorts. Fruin was doing all sorts of wayward stuff. They didn't look convincing. Guildford's mind was elsewhere, all that sort of stuff. Since then, though, since a few changes, they've looked like they're cohesive, they know what they're doing, they're running far better lines.
Yeah, definitely.
And conversely, the Chiefs, without Sonny Bill Williams and now without Richard Kahui, don't have the same physical menace that they had. I mean, even without SPW earlier in the year, using Kahui gave the Chiefs an extra edge in that back line. Now they've lost him. Nano Williams is not going to play. They don't have, you would suspect, quite the same smack or zip or whatever in that back line. So that's the one part that does disturb me.
Yeah, although I would actually say that a big factor in the attacking improvement of the Crusaders is the fact that their pack have been so dominant. And it's so much easier to run hard and straight when you're coming onto the ball against a retreating defence.
Well, Carter was sitting in his armchair last weekend, wasn't he? When his forwards absolutely crushed the Reds, and that's why they should have all been men of the match. They just destroyed it and said, here you go, Dan, just lollop around, do what you do. Yeah.
Let me ask, you've mentioned Brodie Retallick because I think in the course of the last 8 months, New Zealand has gone from having three good players, three good locks, to
two very good locks.
Well, one in particular, who is Whitelock, for my mind, has gone from, I don't know, maybe fourth or fifth in the world to, he looks to me like he's got
more of the nasty pills about him, and very accurate as well. I like the way he plays. Retallick, I think, has continued on with his tremendous start last year, and Luke Romano is just that engine. He's got that a bit of the Brad Thorne about him, isn't he? He runs through people.
Yeah.
Wants to hurt people.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of others around. I mean, I will be interested to see whether Dominic Bird returns in the ITM Cup, perhaps, and then might be taken on the end of year tour. That'll be an interesting department. A couple of other locks have been around, who've shown out. But conversely, a team like the Blues, for example, dare we mention them in one paragraph here, have no locks left for next season. So where they're going to find those from, goodness only knows. But yes, certainly the Crusaders' power out of that tight five, which allows a very good Matt Todd and Kieran Reid and George Whitelock to operate, has just kept winning them the games.
Yeah, and so you suspect, though, that the Chiefs' tight five have got the ability to live with them?
Oh, well, I just think the way I've seen them get up for various games last year.
Yeah, they were good.
They've been the most consistent New Zealand franchise. Let's face it, this year, haven't they? They finished top of the New Zealand Conference. They finished second overall. Therefore, they must be doing something right. They've had to play every New Zealand side twice. So they've weathered all that and got to top of the New Zealand Conference. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
In big games, they understand everything about the day, from being nervous the night before to having gone through all their drills, all their preparation, knowing that they've got that done, how they spend the day of a final, how they spend it at home, which is one advantage in Hamilton. What all that entails. They've been through it. They're understanding this big game stuff that the Crusaders are regularly getting themselves up for. So here, I think the Chiefs really have a top shot. But again, you need Tawera Kurbalo, who you presume will start, to be a lot sharper than he's been, and Cruden to operate as well. So there are all these things. They need a few things to go their way, of course. But we have seen the Crusaders shut down at times this year, haven't we?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because the Crusaders, for all their excellence against the Reds, and 2 weeks prior to that against the Chiefs, there was a gap. There was a game in the middle where they were okay, they weren't great. And that's kind of been the story of their season. They haven't been able to back up that really crunchy, intense performance with the same type of game the following week. We're in the territory now where you've got no choice. If you don't do it, you're going home type thing, I would imagine. Do you get the sense, though, that the Crusaders have possibly, with the fact that the guys who are in form for them are Whitelock, Romano, Crockett, Franks, Dagg, Carter, these are serious names in world rugby.
Very good.
You kind of got to trust them a little bit to be able to back up now at this point in the year, do you?
Yeah, I do. And I also see an important ingredient in this mix for Blackadder, I think, as he searches for the magic buttons and potions and all these things to have his team on top, is the fact that McCaw has come back. And while he's not starting, he will be delivering some enormous input into how he thinks these guys should play, and he will be showing them at training what they should be doing. In other words, why are you lagging so far behind? Why are you not keeping up with this? Why are we not hitting that ruck XYZ?
Yeah.
He'll be setting the standards, even though he won't be starting. So I think that's an added impetus for the Crusaders.
So just finally, you've backed the Chiefs to win the semi-final. Do you then go on to back them to win the final? Presumably you do.
Well, you have to, don't you?
Well, I'm asking you.
They're top qualifiers, so yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Anyone a gambler? Go out and put it all on the Chiefs. Win said so. Win. Thanks very much.